Chapter 2, Whispers in the Dark, Unveiling Forgotten Secrets. Chapter 2, Whispers in the Dark. The silence in Valeria's apartment felt heavier than usual, as if the discovery of Lucia's diary had disturbed some ancient, slumbering force. The weight of forgotten secrets pressed against her mind as she read further, each word echoing with a sense of foreboding. She spent the next hour hunched over her laptop, scanning through old newspaper clippings and online archives. The dim light of her desk lamp cast long shadows that danced on the walls, making her apartment feel like a scene from a noir film. Reports were scarce, but they painted a grim picture. Lucia Mendez, a 17-year-old girl, had disappeared one autumn night without leaving a single clue. The case had gone cold, her name fading from public memory. Yet, here was her voice, preserved in ink, waiting to be heard. A sudden creak outside her apartment door made Valeria freeze. She turned her head sharply, heart pounding in her chest. Holding her breath, she listened intently. Nothing, just the wind rattling the old window frames. But the feeling of being watched lingered, an invisible presence that sent a shiver down her spine. Pushing aside her unease, she returned to the diary. More entries detailed Lucia's growing paranoia, mentions of strange figures lurking near her home, whispers in the dark, and a chilling statement. They said, "I would disappear if I kept asking questions." Valeria's stomach twisted with anxiety. Had Lucia stumbled onto something dangerous, and if so, was she now stepping into the same trap? A notification pinged on her laptop screen, the sudden sound making her jump. An anonymous email flashed across the screen. "Stop digging, some things should remain buried." A cold shiver ran down her spine. She wasn't just reading Lucia's story anymore, she was living it. Determined, Valeria reached for her phone, her fingers trembling as she dialed the number of an old contact, Detective Javier Morales. If anyone could help her navigate this tangled web of secrets, it was him. "Valeria, it's been a while," his gruff voice answered on the third ring. "Javier, I need your help. I've stumbled onto something big," she whispered, glancing nervously at the locked door. He sighed. "You always do. What is it this time?" "A missing girl from 1992, Lucia Mendez. I think she was onto something before she vanished, and now I think I'm being watched." There was a pause, the line crackling with static. "I'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't open the door for anyone." The call ended, and Valeria felt a flicker of relief. She knew Javier could be trusted, even if their past was complicated. But the sense of impending danger still loomed over her, thickening the air with tension. She returned to the diary, her eyes scanning the pages for any more clues. Lucia's entries grew more frantic, the words almost incoherent in their desperation. There were mentions of shadowy figures, cryptic symbols, and a name that sent a chill down Valeria's spine. Elias Vargas. Who was Elias Vargas, and what role had he played in Lucia's disappearance? A sudden knock on the door made Valeria jump. She glanced at the clock, too soon for Javier. Her heart pounded in her chest as she approached the door, peering through the peephole. No one was there. Just the empty hallway bathed in the dim glow of the flickering overhead light. She hesitated, hand hovering over the lock, before stepping back. The knock came again, louder and more urgent. Valeria's breath hitched. She knew better than to open the door. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her insides. Then a voice, distorted, almost mechanical, whispered through the crack in the door. "Leave it alone, Valeria. or you'll end up like Lucia. The sound of footsteps echoed down the hallway, fading into the distance. Valeria's hands shook as she stepped back, heart racing. The weight of the diary in her hands felt heavier than ever. The fear was palpable now, but so was her determination. She wasn't just chasing a story, she was unraveling a web of secrets that had claimed one life already, and now it was coming for her. As she waited for Javier, Valeria couldn't shake the feeling that every shadow hid a secret, and every whisper held a warning. The clock ticked steadily on, each second drawing her deeper into the mystery of Lucia Mendez and the darkness that had swallowed her whole. When the door finally opened to reveal Javier's familiar face, Valeria felt a surge of relief, but the sense of danger remained. Together, they would have to navigate the labyrinth of lies and whispers that had ensnared Lucia and now threatened to consume Valeria as well.